expect Santa Claus to be killing and dismembering men.
He was interviewed as a witness. He wanted to help. He seemed genuine.
Bruce McArthur is one of the most terrifying serial killers in Canadian history. I'm Brad Hunter from the Toronto Sun. More than 2 years after the serial killer was jailed for the rest of his life, presumably, a ton of books and documentaries have been released on him. The latest is Catching a Serial Killer, Bruce McArthur, that will air on Super Channel. The program delves into McArthur's psyche and what drove him to kill, which is one of the main questions of the public and the police, even now. Criminologists trace his pathology to childhood, when he grew up closeted in a farm in the 1950s in rural Ontario. Not the most welcoming for the LGBT community at the time. Now, most people, when they come out of the closet, it's a moment of joy, relief. But for McArthur, it seemed to be something else. It seemed to drive him in the direction of murder. And 8 men paid with their lives for that, and there may be more. The program also delves into whether, in fact, McArthur drew the tab at 8 murders, or whether there was more. Off the cuff, cops and criminologists alike will say, yeah, there's probably more victims. A guy doesn't start killing at 58. And these are some of the things that they go into in this program, how this ostensible middle-class family man becomes a serial killer. Now, the other aspect is that McArthur is an anomaly, much like Lonnie Franklin, the grim sleeper of Los Angeles fame, was another much older serial killer. Serial killers don't typically start, when they're over 50. They usually start in their 20s, and by the time they're 50, their bloodlust seems to be more tempered. That's why you're seeing right now all these cold cases in the United States being cleared, because that a lot of these guys are old men, and technology has caught up to them, and they've, some of them the Golden State Killer hadn't murdered in years. As for us at the Toronto Sun, we've covered this case extensively. On the record and off the record, cops told me, yeah, we think there's probably more, but until McArthur himself opens his big yap and says, yeah, I didn't just stop at this 8, or there was victims before him, we're left with pretty much nothing. But this story isn't going to go away either, because it will continue, and every new body dug up around the province of Ontario will have that question mark added to it. Did Bruce McArthur kill this guy? For the Toronto Sun, I'm Brad Hunter. Let us know what you think.